Would you just shut up and take my money already? I called it. I knew it. The second that we saw Batman and then a Superman figure, both based on Jim Lee's artwork from the Hush storyline, I said they've got a limited license to do pretty much any character they want from the Batman Hush storyline. I predicted that we would start to see all kinds of other characters based on the artwork of Jim Lee from that storyline. I know that it's not a great big license that is all-encompassing, that they can do whatever DC characters they want. It's definitely based on Hush and The Dark Knight, and clearly there is some animated license that they have because of the animated Batman, but I called it. I said that there was going to be a slew of characters from the Hush storyline, and we've started to see the imagery of those figures roll out, and some of them even be released. Well, at this point, only Batman's been released. Superman is next up to be released, but we've also seen Catwoman, Hush, and the Joker now. Tim Drake and Dick Grayson Nightwing are coming. I would bet dollars to donuts we're going to see them released as well. Man, this is, I'm calling it now. Like I said before, this is probably going to be one of the best Batman action figure lines ever made in the 6-inch scale. I'm calling it. Stamped it, Noah Racy's Black Ball beats it all. So let's delve into this imagery and have a closer look, shall we, to see exactly what we can glean from it, because this is just freshly released, and this is all we have to go by. Clearly the Joker figure's gonna come with 2 heads, a teethy smile face, and also an open mouth kind of laughy face. And we can also see he comes with a little stabby knife and a bang gun. Be careful, don't drop these on the floor. That knife looks like it could get sucked up by the vacuum in 0.3 seconds. I only say that because occasionally I've dropped it on the floor and it's been vacuumed up, and then I've found it when I'm emptying the vacuum canister into the garbage, and I'm like, oh, that's where that accessory went. Ooh, reach into all the dust and lint and dog dander. We can also see that this figure's gonna come with a multitude of different hands. Clearly he's gonna have 2 grabby hands for the knife and for the gun. He's also got some open hands, as we can see here in the picture, and even some pointy bang bang finger hands. For me, this would become certainly my definitive 6-inch scale Joker. No word of a lie. He looks fantastic in comparison to the artwork that he's based off of. The articulation for Joker, from what I can glean from this imagery, is not going to be too bad either. I'm sure that the shoulders will probably get in the way somewhat, but there does appear to be a butterfly with the ball joint, double jointed knees and elbows, rounded, ball joints right there in the groin. The dumbbell probably going to be drop hinges. The articulation on this guy looks like it's not going to be too bad. We'll have to wait to see exactly how useful the ankles are. It's always a little bit of a challenge to make ankles that have shoes and pants hanging over them look good and also be well articulated. Like I said, Mafex, hurry up and shut up and take my money. Now, staying in the realm of Batman, but moving on to the realm of action figures that never were and probably should have been, and it's a great shame that they never were. Over on David Vonner's Instagram page, he released images of not 1, but 2 fantastic looking, would have been definitive for many people, Batman action figures. During his time at Mattel, he designed these 2 very cool looking Batman figures that I can't figure out for the life of me why they were never released. Look at them. Why? This first one is your classic blue and gray capsule belt oval bat, and this looks so fantastic. It would have been better than any Batman figure they had ever released to date. And it came with an extra head, and it came with a cowl that hangs down over his back as if the mask is off, a batarang, a back grapple, and 2 extra hands. These would have been Mattel's new gold standard. David Vonner writes himself, from the archives, part 2, the greatest Cape Crusader that never made it. Created during my time at Mattel, an attempt was made to introduce these into the line to bring a new, more robust look to the figure and possibly the line as a whole. And note, I wasn't even on the DC team. These were developed out of a pure love for the character and culture, introduce freshness to the line. Batman is universally loved, and that passion shows and flows in this figure. That is absolutely true. You could tell that he loves Batman. Look at that head sculpt. Look at that head sculpt. And moving over to what for many of us would have been the definitive black and gray pouch belt solid bat on the chest Batman figure. Again, does it get more fantastic than this in the 6-inch scale? If these had have seen actual production, these would have been so fantastic. David, you would have been a Batman action figure legend for designing these, and we would have had a fantastic definitive black and gray Batman in the collection. He came with the exact same things, as you can see, as the other one. The head, the cowl hanging down over the back, the batarang, the back grapple, and the extra hands. But dude, I find myself lamenting over something that never was. Because, I mean, how many of us spent so much time customizing a Batman in this style to try and come up with something that would have been, as far as we were concerned, just right? If this had been released, I probably would have stopped customizing 6-inch scale Batman figures. No word of a lie. I would have got this and been like, I don't need to customize one anymore because I've got a perfect one right here. Here's an image of these two Batman figures side by side. I gotta tell you, I've had 4 kids and I would actually trade a testicle to own both of these figures. I don't need both of them anymore. I've already been fruitful and multiplied. Here we see an image where David's thumb is making a special appearance as well as he holds up the Batman figure with the Bruce Wayne head on the shoulders and the cowl hanging over the back. David, let me level with you here. You helped design 2 of the greatest 6-inch scale Batman figures that have never existed. And here's a view of the same Batman figure from the back so we can see his hairline and we can see the cowl hanging over the back of his cape. Man, I love these so much. And here's an image of the painted prototypes along with an unpainted prototype as well that I gleaned over from Toy Migo's Instagram page. Give him a follow too, as well as David, because they both have fantastic Instagram pages. Now, just a heads up, David and I have been messaging back and forth on Instagram, and I'm hoping that there is some sort of a leisurely laid-back interview in the future with him that I could post on the channel for you guys so that you can hear everything that he has to say. In the case that for some reason that doesn't work out, there is an interview over on Toy Migo. You should go and check that out, where he has a nice lengthy conversation with those folks and totally talks toy with them. He sounds like a really nice guy, and man, I really wish these had been made. David, you the man. Now, just before I end the video, if you'd like to see me review Scarlet, Gung-Ho, Cobra Commander, Duke, and the Baroness with Cobra Coil, then you'll have to slip on over to my other channel, which is now permanently called More Brad the DC Universe Geek. The channel has gone through a few name changes over the time of its existence, and I settled on More Brad the DC Universe Geek because I figured that would cause the least amount of confusion. But as I said before, it won't just be toy reviews there. Right now, it currently is pretty much all just non-DC action figure reviews, but there will be other videos of different natures that show up on that channel from time to time as well. So go subscribe there too. Do me a solid. I have more videos to make and more love to give to the world, and that's where I'm doing it, over on that channel. But anyway, super friends, that's all I have for you today on this channel. Be sure to sound off in the comments down below. Tell Dave exactly what you think of the 2 awesome Batman figures that he designed. And also, just in case you missed it, I did put a link down below for Hobby Link Japan so that you can pre-order the Mafex HUSH Joker action figure. But that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a DC day and take care.